Hi everyone, and welcome to our informational webinar, How the EPI Process Works. My name is Jessica and I work as a content specialist for EPI. I'm from the mountains of North Carolina, and before working for EPI, I taught English at the community college level. Today I will be talking to you about what you can expect as an EPI applicant from when you begin your application to when you come to the United States. We also want you to take the opportunity to ask any questions that you have about our process. You can ask us questions in the comment box and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. Keep in mind that we won't be able to answer any questions about your specific application for privacy reasons. All of those questions should be emailed to us directly at team@teachwithepi.com, and one of our admissions specialists will be able to help you with your application. Today we will be explaining EPI's program and give you an overview of everything from the application to becoming a cultural ambassador. By the end of this presentation, you will have a better understanding of each step of the EPI process. So if you are joining us for the first time, we are Educational Partners International, or EPI for short. And we are a cultural exchange program that brings international teachers to teach in K-12 schools in the United States. Our mission is to bring some of the best teachers from around the world to come to the U.S. to share their cultural experiences. As you can read here, our goal is to strengthen K-12 education by discovering and empowering the world's best international teachers in order to facilitate authentic cultural exchange. So while we work with schools across the southern United States, our home office is in North Carolina, which is about where the arrow is on your screen there. We would love to know where all of you are from too, so please take the time to tell us in the comments below. So the EPI program can be broken into these 6 steps. First, you fill out an application to determine your program eligibility. Then you are moved to the approved stage where you become eligible for school interviews. After you complete a successful school interview, you will become placed in a U.S. school. You then prepare for arrival and orientation in the U.S. and become an EPI program member. You will spend 3 years in the U.S. as an EPI teacher, then return home to become a cultural ambassador around the world. So the first step in the EPI application, or in the EPI program, is the application. EPI's application process is thorough, but it does a few important things for you. Filling out the application creates a professional profile for schools to look at when they are considering teachers for interviews. We also use the information you provide during the application to decide whether or not you meet our eligibility requirements. Some of the requirements for being an EPI teacher are that you are currently teaching, you have 2 years full-time teaching experience, and that you have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree. Finally, the application helps you collect the documents that you will need to apply for a visa, travel to the United States, and obtain a teaching license. As an EPI applicant, you will also be asked to upload a variety of documents to prove that you are able to travel and teach in the United States. You will also have two online interviews with EPI team members. The EPI team will ask you questions about your teaching experience, classroom management, and lesson planning, as well as other topics that help prove your eligibility and qualifications. After the interviews, you will ask to provide proof of employment and credentials. Once you have uploaded all of your documents and passed two EPI interviews, you are then moved to the approved stage. Being an approved means that your application with EPI is complete, you have passed a background check, you meet our requirements, and you are now eligible for school interviews. As a candidate and approved, your application becomes a professional profile that is available to U.S. schools. They will look through the applications of all of our teachers and approve to choose which ones to interview over a video call. If the interview goes well and the school is interested in working with you, you will then be placed. So, placement means that you have accepted an offer from a school and will be coming to the USA to teach. Teachers who are placed through EPI teach in public, private, and charter schools in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and Florida. As soon as you arrive in the US, you will participate in an in person EPI orientation where you can meet EPI team members and start building relationships with other EPI teachers. During this time, you will learn more about life and education in the U.S., as well as the rules and regulations of the Exchange Visitor Program. Our orientation lasts several days, giving you lots of time to ask questions, acclimate to the new culture, and prepare for the upcoming school year. At the end, you will travel to your new community where you will meet current EPI program members who will help you get settled in. After you complete orientation, you become an official EPI program member. As an EPI program member, you will teach in the US for 3 years. During that time, you will have access to 24/7 support from our trained professional support team. Our teacher support team can help you with everything from culture shock to meeting the needs of struggling learners in the classroom. The relationship between you and the support team is an important one and will continue throughout your time in the United States. It includes not only orientation and arrival support, but also professional development programs and one on one instructional and cultural coaching. Should you need help of any kind, the EPI support team is here to help. So, as an EPI teacher, you will also have the opportunity to share your culture with your students here in the United States through different cultural exchange projects. Today, we have a couple of examples of the projects our teachers have done in the past. An EPI teacher from Chile had her students write a book entirely in Spanish. The book was called Changing the World, and they were later able to publish it. Here you can see them reading it, as well as some of the illustrations that they drew for it. This is an activity that one of our Jamaican teachers organized for her students. For the activity, students in Rochelle's previous school in Jamaica created a presentation on Jamaican culture. This included national symbols, food, music, and national heroes. They then shared that presentation with her American students over Skype. After teaching in the United States for 3 years with EPI, you will then return to your home country where you will be able to become a cultural ambassador. After you return, you will be able to share what you have learned about the U.S. with people in your home country, just like you shared your culture while you were here. This is one of the most important steps in the whole process because this is what cultural exchange is all about: building mutual understanding between cultures by sharing your experiences. So, today we also have a video of some of our Filipino teachers talking about their experience teaching in the US with EPI. After this brief video, we will be answering your questions in a live question and answer session. So, for now, here are their stories.
I came to the United States not just to teach, but to make a difference in American students' lives.
When my friends told me about the EPI program to become the cultural ambassador as an exchange teacher here, oh, it sounds like, oh, I want to try it.
Basically, I joined EPI because I've always had passion for cultural exchange.
For me, teaching is the most enjoyable and the most effective way of changing the world.
It's a give and take learning. They don't only learn from me, but I also learn from them.
I feel honored and excited to be the cultural ambassador of the Philippines to the U.S. in the field of education.
The reason why I joined EPI is because it's my childhood dream to teach in the United States.
We are happy because the EPI gave us this opportunity to serve the American kids and to share our culture to them.
It took me a long time to fulfill my American dream, and it was because of EPI.
I will also have the opportunity to share this passion with everybody and hopefully make a difference in my students' journey to success.
They told me, you are the only Asian person here. And I told them, all right, this Asian person will make change on you.
So one of my students, I heard that she applied for an exchange student in the Philippines. She said that, you know what, I am very curious of what I have just saw in your video.
So with the support of Filipino teachers and also other EPI teachers that are coming from other countries, you will really feel like everything is really worth doing as a teacher.
I started watching the football games and all the other sports games of my students to be in a community where I belong.
The community was very supportive. It's not only the school, but also some of the churches. They come together to help me put out my house. They put together furniture.
And we're so proud because me and my wife teaching together, sharing everything to the kids, to the American kids, and at the same time, we're learning also their culture.
We both know that when we work together towards a common goal, we can make it. We can make it happen.
To hear more from our teachers, visit our Facebook page. We have posted several videos of our teachers talking about their cultural exchange experiences. We also post teacher stories on our website, teachwithepi.com. Okay, so now it's time for questions. I'll be answering any of the questions that you have left in the comments, so if you have not submitted them yet, please ask them now. Also, we encourage you to tell us about yourself. We would love to know where you are from and what you are currently teaching. It looks like we have already heard from teachers from Australia, Jamaica, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, Finland, and Zimbabwe today, and many more. And wherever you're joining us from, just thank you so much for being here. Okay, so it looks like the first question we have is, how do I get started? I will address this more thoroughly in just a minute, but the basics is you go to teachwithepi.com and you will scroll down until you see a big orange button that says click here to apply. And then once you click that button, you'll be able to start your application with an email address and password. Okay, so the next question is, can anyone apply? Yes, anyone can start an application, but maybe to be a bit more specific, our requirements are that you have a bachelor's degree, you have at least 2 years full-time teaching experience, you have advanced English skills, and that you are currently teaching. So you might want to consider whether or not you meet those requirements before you take the time to start an application. If this is a question about age limit, which actually I see someone else asked about this, we do not have an age limit. If you meet our basic requirements, you can apply for the program regardless of your age. Okay, so the next question is us and spend some years teaching and sharing their culture and learning about US culture. So this is not a program for residents of the United States. Our next question is, are there any opportunities to teach Spanish or other languages? So this is a really good question. We are always looking for foreign language teachers, so that's not just Spanish, but also French, Arabic, Mandarin, German, really any language that you can think of. And maybe to broaden this question a little bit to what subjects that we teach generally, we place teachers in all subjects that we teach in K-12 schools in the United States. So that not only means foreign language, but also English as a second language, language arts, math, science, music, art. So really any subject that you could think that we would teach in a K-12 school, we place teachers in those subjects. Oh, also, a question that we get a lot, special education. We also place teachers in special education. Okay, so the next question is, what is the deadline to apply? So this is another great question. The answer is that we have what we call a rolling deadline, which means that we accept applications all year round. Um, Even though we accept applications all year round, April's placement season has started. So if you are wanting to be considered for a program that will start in August 2019, it's really important that you go and start your application as soon as possible so that you can be considered for this year. Next question is, what provisions are made for individuals with families? Um, I'm uncertain exactly what this question is asking. But if it's asking if you can bring your family, then yes, we do sponsor J2 visas. If it's asking about, sometimes we have couples that will apply together who are both teachers. And if you are in a married couple and you're both teachers, you both can apply for the program. And if you both apply for the program, we will make sure that you are both placed in the same district so you won't be traveling very far apart from each other. If this is asking about maybe financial support for bringing your family, our teachers are generally responsible for all of the financial responsibility of bringing their families to the United States. Okay, and our last question today, and this is another question. Oh, actually, it looks like we have one more that I want to squeeze in here. When does placement season start? So placement season generally starts in April. So it's now April, which means that our placement season has officially begun. So it's really important that you put your application in as soon as possible. Okay, and then our last question is a driver's license required? And this is a question that we get a lot. And the general answer is no, a driver's license is not required to be in the program. Something to consider is that not all places in the United States have strong public transportation, which means if you applied for the program and you don't have a driver's license, we wouldn't be able to place you in places without public transportation, which would limit your opportunities to get placed. But having a driver's license isn't a requirement for the program. Okay, so that's our last question for today. If you did not get to ask your question, please go ahead and leave it in the comments. We will answer all remaining questions in the comments after the broadcast. So now that you know more about our program, it is time to talk about the next steps. First, if you have not yet applied, go to teachwithepi.com and start your application. Once you are there, you will scroll down until you see the orange button that says click here to apply. Then you will need to answer some questions about your eligibility. After you answer the questions and click submit, you'll be able to make an account with your email address and start your application. If you have started your application but have questions about how to continue, please email us at team@teachwithepi.com so that one of our trained admission specialists can help you. Finally, please take the time to sign up for our webinar mailing list at teachwithepi.com/webinars. If you sign up, you'll get information about our upcoming webinars as well as be able to watch all of our previous videos. So to finish today's presentation, I would like to share this quote that I feel illustrates the importance of an international education. J. William Fulbright was a U.S. Senator and the founder of the Fulbright program. He said, "There's a multiplier effect in international education, and it carries the possibility, the only real possibility, of changing our manner of thinking about the world and therefore of changing the world." Here at EPI, we understand how important it is to provide students with a global perspective, and we are excited to give them and you the opportunity to experience authentic cultural exchange. So that's all for today, everyone. If you're interested in signing up for our upcoming webinars, go to teachwithepi.com/webinars and sign up for our mailing list. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook to hear about our upcoming events, as well as to hear more from our current teachers. If you have any more questions, be sure to email us at team@teachwithepi.com. On behalf of everyone at EPI, thanks for joining us and have a great day.